Hey Jemias, so this is for Craig and why he's deserving of his flowers.
So, welcome to another episode of Flowers. Come to see Craig from Solve. Big inspiration to
For
the
the
youth
longest time,
and
this
to the
man has
people.
stood side by side with children, young people, families, professionals, and the community, not just to be there in a, gentle supporting capacity, but he has used every ounce of who he is to make a positive difference and change. And I'm not talking about just from head knowledge. Craig has gone to the depth of study to really understand our community, to really understand what makes or breaks our community and the impact that violence has on our children and our families. He's gone above and beyond, and to be quite honest, he's done so much that has gone unnoticed. He's a gentle giant. Craig cares deeply about what happens to our children and our young people.
Like to give you, on behalf of the community, your flowers, or you can still smell them, my brother.
Nah, respect, man.
Bro.
Respect is due. Jay, every time, King.
We appreciate you, bro. We
Yeah,
appreciate you. The
this.
world appreciates you, and your community appreciates you, bro.
You know, it's crazy that you always buying flowers for people,
Yeah.
but never receiving flowers.
Yeah, this is it, bro.
So,
and
I appreciate.
we see your work that you do with Solve, and we just want to give you your flowers while you still can smell them. So, what the question is, what drives you, and what's your inspiration, and why?
Multiple things drive me. My community, young people, death. You know, I've buried over 20 young people to violence, and I say that without acknowledging the trauma and the chaos that brings. But my motivation is always kind of the mission of trying to reduce and not allow another family to go through that experience again. So everything that we do here at Solve is about how do we reduce that within our communities in the best way possible, whether that's through training, whether that's through education, sports, whether that's through faith. And those are the things that we kind of look at in terms of, how can we, bring some sort of calm to communities that are damaged because of the ripple effect of the histories of beef and conflict and tensions between different groups of people. And now we've got our babies now picking up arguments that they don't even understand.
That is so deep and so profound, because even with this gang thing, so many different generations of certain gangs, really they're just picking up the mentorship, but know nothing how it was ever birthed in the first place. So that was a big way. Just what's the next step and where you go from there?
Well, me personally, I'm on my PhD journey.
Okay.
So I'm like 7 months out from completing my PhD. So this time next year, I'll hopefully be Dr. Pinkney.
Easy.
And
That time.
in terms of Solve, we're going from strength to strength. We've got so many programs that we're doing in education. We're working with leaders across schools. We're just in the middle of doing a program across 10 schools across the West Midlands and looking at exclusions and how do we reduce exclusions, because if you don't know, the vulnerability of children and young people when they get excluded from mainstream school intensifies, and that's where exploitation, gangs and all of the things that we talk about. So it's about how can we help professionals within educational settings to try and reduce, and what is it that those children and young people need in those settings to try and alleviate some of those problems. And that's what I'm more passionate about. So I don't work directly with the children no more. I used to, those days are done. We've got a team of individuals that do that. I really focus mainly on the professionals and the parents in the community and the leaders within the community to upskill them to be able to respond to those needs.
You hear that? That's why it's important to give people like him his flowers where he can still smell them. Look how important that guy is, bro. I'm not going to keep it like. I just want to give you your flowers where you can still smell them, bro.
Appreciate you,
love.
Every time, love.
We appreciate you, bro. And keep up the good work, man.
Every time,
man.
love.
Bro.
Is more than worthy of flowers. He needs a florist. I personally have seen the countless nights, the hard work that he has done that no one even sees.
And I guess I'll leave you with the 3 I's. Impact, influence, income. You create a big enough impact, by default, people are going to follow your movement. They're going to follow what you've got to say, and then the money will come. But if you go into something thinking income without no impact and no influence, that's probably the reason why a lot of people are asking you these types of questions, because they're thinking money first. And that's why when you've asked me those questions, I haven't spoke much about the money. I want a centre of excellence, because that's what Craig's known for, creating centres of excellence. And all of a sudden, services around the world are saying, can we tap into that? Can we be a part of your training? Because I create centres of excellence, and that needs to be the mindset of how we move forward, surviving in this capitalist society.
Talking about that a year now. Craig had a good team that I put together, by the way. They beat us this year.
One of the things that I talk about within my work, and I've also done a paper on this, looks at how social media platforms create narcissistic tendencies. You know, and I also say we shouldn't always just point the finger at young people. We also should talk about multinational corporations and marketing and big business that comes into this idea that they want people on these platforms talking about themselves. You think of Snapchat, you talk about Instagram, you look at...
We shouldn't be firefighters. So the whole purpose of why this program becomes important is that people are working smarter and not harder. We should never be in a reactive state.
It should be on fire because we're trying to prevent fires.
One of our objectives as an organisation is about how do we mobilise communities. When we have these conversations about serious youth violence, and unfortunately we've had to bury so many young people just within faith settings, or individuals that may consider themselves faith leaders, understand the role and the power that they have, sadly, when a family or member...
There's been so many scenarios and case studies that we've learnt as First Class Foundation that we want to unpack with other faith leaders to kind of look at how can we make a difference, how can we improve the situation that's happening within society.